Abhimanyu Mithun as to whether they can perform on the spinner-friendly wickets in Sri Lanka. Well, moving on to news from the motorcycle world. Of course, regular motorcycles modified for the racing tracks is probably done only in India. Our reporter Sudarshan finds out why motor racing enthusiasts in India prefer to modify their bikes instead of getting those original speedy mean machines.
Aravind is not a professional racer, but he loves to compete with them. He owns a Yamaha, a regular model, customized to touch speeds close to 150 kilometers an hour. There are many others like him. The racers say professional racing bikes are expensive and not affordable.
Have X power, there's always room for misusing the thing. So there are people who can actually put the lives of others in peril.
In our country, we are still not in a situation where an average biker can afford the big bikes. It's still quite expensive. Even though it's not like 10 years back, when it used to be hyper expensive, but now it's still expensive beyond the grasp of the common man.
So what exactly racers want when they modify their bikes to take part in a race?
One is on the engine side, wherein a person might want more power. The power might be in the way of torque in between, like the better pickup or a better top speed. Secondly, what they would look is for more grip. So there comes the tire aspect and all. And thirdly, what comes is braking. So whether the bike brakes in properly or not.
Motorcycle experts say bikes that are modified to enhance speed is not only dangerous for the rider, but it also causes damage to its engine.
Something more than the bike what can give right now. That's what the whole idea of doing modification is all about.
Experts who discourage the trend among racers also point out that modified motorcycles are not allowed in professional races, but a lot of them appear on amateur racing tracks. In Chennai with reporter Sudarshan, Lokpriya for NDTV Hindu.
I am now joined by Aravind, who's a big bike enthusiast and of course an owner of quite a mean machine himself. Thank you very much for joining me today. Now, what exactly brings you to sort of modify a bike as a bike enthusiast? What brings you to modify a not so speedy machine?
Yeah, the first thing is there are two facets to it. The first thing is the road users. And the second thing is the racers. As far as road users are concerned, I would not advocate bike modification for road rage and those kinds of things. But as far as racing is concerned, it's all about pushing beyond the limits. It's all about learning the limits and pushing beyond the thing. And for those things, you have to modify the bike. Say, for example, a racer in India, his potential is enormous. And it's hardly recognized. But the thing is, you just need to build a bike which should be match the potential of the rider. So the competition is, because if you have very easy rideable bike and if you give it to all the people, everybody will be winning, because you just need to have lots and lots of space between the rider's potential and the bike's performance. So which is the reason why we go for bike modification.
Okay, what does it cost to make these modifications really? Are there different grades that you follow, etc., or is it just about how fast you want to go? Could you highlight those aspects?
As far as modification is concerned, there are lots and lots of levels of modification, because just making a bike go fast, there are lots and lots of elements which go into making a bike go faster. Say, for example, without touching the engine, we can make the bike go fast. And that's one point to it. It's like reducing the weight. It's like weight loss is power gained. That's 1 month of bike racing. And the second thing is, you just need to know what exactly you want. If you want more power, of course, you just need to work on the engine. You just need to open the engine, and you just need to do lots and lots of modification on the engine to get more power. But apart from the engine, you have something on the tires. Tires is something which actually makes you go. So that has to be proper. And there are many things go into defining what makes a bike go faster. Say there are soft compound tires, hard compound tires. A racer knows it best. Based upon his riding style, he'll be choosing that thing. And the other thing is the exhaust. You can do the modification for the exhaust also. And as I told you at the beginning, you can actually reduce the bike's weight, and a mechanic would be knowing that thing the best. But as far as the cost is concerned, I would say starting from 1,000 to as expensive as even 1 lakh, I would say, depending upon the kind of modification whatever you want to do on the bike.
All right, going with those costs, it's definitely burning the tires on the tracks, as many would say, as many a racer would say. But being a not so professional racer, how dangerous is it for you to modify your normal bike into a souped up bike? How dangerous is that?
As far as the element of danger is concerned, it's present everywhere. even if you travel in a normal 100cc Splendor, even if you're riding at 40, there are chances you'll be meeting up with an accident. So the element of risk is present everywhere. But we are talking about professional racing. We are not talking about amateurs. These are highly qualified people who just can exploit the full potential of the bike. And for them, we just need to modify the bike to its maximum possible limit. And I don't see any harm in that thing. Of course,
I have to interrupt you there and tell you that we're all well aware of the non-professional bike enthusiasts who still modify their bikes. And what's the danger for them?
It's not only danger for them. Non-professional bike enthusiasts, are you referring to the people who modify the bikes and engage in road rage?
Exactly. Especially in Chennai on Sundays early in the morning, there are a load of bikers who go all the way down ECR. I'm very well aware of that. Now, it's a scary thought actually to know that they take off on their own without any supervision.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good point. Even we as bike enthusiasts, we don't advocate road rage, and this bike modification is specifically meant for track use. Even some of the companies like Yamaha, they actually have this performance kit for the bikes, and they have specifically stated that it's only for track use close, like it's not intended to be in racing. So that's one thing about it.
Okay, what's the difference between riding on the tracks, especially back at the Irangattakotai, and also riding on the roads, normal roads? Chennai roads obviously aren't very well known for good roads as such. So what's the difference between these two safety factors?
Safety factors, there are accidents happening in both these kinds of places. Some of the people meet with accident in the road, and of course accidents do happen in racing. But the thing is, those people exercise the required precaution. They do have gravel split, everywhere in the racetrack, so even if a rider falls, he'll be falling on the gravel, so it'll be like minimal damage. And the second thing is, he'll be wearing certain racing suit, which is gone hell of a lot of testing, and there will be causing minimum damage to the rider also. So I don't see much of a difference in the harm one might come across, be it racing or road. It all depends upon the rider.
I'm speaking from experience when I say that, but there are huge risks of a rider on the tracks experimenting a lot more in terms of tricks or any of that, tricks of the trade, shall we say, on the tracks rather than on road. Isn't that true?
Can you just repeat that, please?
Isn't it more obvious that a racer on the tracks would take far more risks because he's there, he's right at home. So that's a lot more dangerous as well.
Yeah, but nowadays one good thing about is people are not doing all these kinds of stunts on the road. It's actually getting reduced since all these tracks are thrown open for all these kinds of enthusiasts, and we have track days where you can pay some money and you go there, you just own the track for half a day or full day. But the thing is, one thing is, danger is everywhere. And these people are also doing a good job. The rail authorities, they don't let people inside with proper riding gears. You should be having proper gloves, you should be having proper jacket, you should be having proper knee guards, leather suit, and after which you will be allowed inside. So it's not for the non-professionals, I would say. Of course, one more thing is, you go there, it's out of your own interest, and you put your life in risk, and no one is involved, and you don't hurt other people, right? Which is happening in the road. Absolutely. So that's a far better thing, I would say.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Aravind, for all those key factors going out to our viewers, that you have to wear your leathers and proper guards before you get on the tracks and before you step onto your machines. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks,
now moving on to before the Commonwealth Games, with less than 100 days left to start for these